When you set your price, you make buyers aware of the absolute maximum they have to pay for your home. As a seller, you want to get a selling price as close to the listing price as possible, obviously. So if you start out by pricing too high, you run the risk of not being taken seriously by buyers and their agents, and pricing too low can result in selling for much less than you were hoping for. Now, one of the first rules in real estate is that every property sells if it's priced correctly. Even the rundown shack with holes in the roof, no plumbing, and a termite infestation can sell if the price is right. Condition is not necessarily what determines saleability. Price is. So it's critical that you learn how to price your property effectively. And the next few items that we discuss all deal with ways to accurately determine the price that you should sell at. And no, I wouldn't just rely on the real estate agent to tell you these things. I, as a seller, would do some homework as well. So rule number one, the dartboard approach to selling property is not an effective pricing strategy. Guessing at a price is dangerous. Hoping to get a price without verifying if a price is justifiable in the market can cost you thousands of dollars. And worse than guessing is intentionally overpricing the property. I've talked with many sellers who want to price a property substantially above the market, knowing that the property is substantially above the market, in the hopes of finding some poor, hapless buyer who's just dumb enough to fall into their trap and buy their ridiculously overpriced house. Folks, this type of buyer is a myth. I'm not saying that there may not be purchasers that are less informed than others. There are. But purchasers have a lot of safeguards now that they haven't had in times past. So let me illustrate. You have your home at 15% above the market value, which says that you should sell it for around $200,000. You're priced at around $230,000. You've been on the market for 4 months, and a purchaser comes along and foolishly offers you, and you accept, an offer of $220,000. Now, before you start counting the $20,000 extra dollars, you need to remember that the buyer has a secret weapon called the appraisal, which is required by every lender to determine the real value of your property. So the appraisal is done, and surprise, surprise, the appraiser finds that your property is worth only $199,000. So the buyer has the right to terminate this deal with you, and probably will after they have the conversation with their lender, where the lender informs them that they're only going to lend them money based on the $199,000 value. Even if the buyer is dumb, the professionals behind them are not. So the deal falls apart and you're back on the market again hoping for another buyer, and that is an impossible cycle to be in. So don't overprice your home. It's devastating for your marketing. Let me tell you how I look at overpriced properties as a real estate professional. As I actively show properties, I'm constantly keeping a mental list of properties that I know to be overpriced in the market. So you might get one showing from me if you're overpriced, but you aren't going to get two. Why would I knowingly take my purchasers into a property that's overpriced? I'm going to show my purchasers properties that are priced at or slightly below market value. So when you overprice a listing, you'll get a few showings initially as agents of the community to bring buyers through. However, it doesn't take long for the real estate community to understand that your listing is not realistic as an option for their purchasers. And yes, folks, realtors compare notes with each other. You don't want the stigma of being known as an overpriced listing. It's the kiss of death in effectively marketing your home. So we're going to look a little bit more at setting a price in part 2 of this video, so make sure you watch that one as well. Please be sure to watch, like, and share these resources and tools, and of course, let us know how we can best help you.